All right. Hey there, everyone. Hey, Chloe. Thanks for logging on and using the chat. Nice to see you in the advanced class. And everyone else who's joining us, I see a lot of you guys logged on viewing right now. Go ahead and use the live chat to ask me questions or to comment along with the video if you have stuff that you want to work on. Today, we're just going to go ahead and work through all of our concert music that is going to be for the virtual concert. So hopefully you guys over the weekend received an email. That email will have a list of all of the songs that we're going to be working on for our virtual concert, as well as some additional music that is a challenge for you guys. So tomorrow, if you want to take a stab at the Holst selection, it's Jupiter from Gustav Holst's suite of music based on each of the planets. It's called The Planets. So we're going to be doing a movement from the Jupiter arrangement. And it's a really, really beautiful lyrical piece. So join us tomorrow for that. We're going to do one class on that for you guys. But today we're going to work on the other things. So Superhero Blues, Playground Waltz, those are the full orchestra pieces for everybody, down to the beginners, violins to the advanced. Everybody has their own separate part. We're also going to do all of our book songs and try and work that out so that you guys have a good template for the virtual concert going forward. All right, so let me pull up our scales. So Green Book players, you guys have this on page 1, but everyone else who's joining us from Selma, go ahead and let's talk about our major scales that we're going to be using for our music here. So we have the C major scale. Just to review, C major scale is our B flat concert scale. So if I ever say B flat concert, just remember it's C major for clarinet. E flat concert is F major for clarinet. That's the one just below. So almost the same notes in both scales. For the C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So we're going to use low B and low C if you guys are new to the class today, but the veterans from the class are going to be crossing over the break and doing our B to C over the break. In the video description, if you haven't seen these videos before, I encourage you to watch some of the older ones, because the older ones we talk about transitioning over the break. And there's in the description, there's a sheet of music for doing just that, going over the break. All right, so we're going to do our C major scale, and then our F major scale has almost the exact same notes, except we're going to add B flat. So F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. All right, let's do the C major scale. Remember, these are the notes in canon. For our C major scale, we're going to be doing, has all the same notes as canon. All right, I'll make my metronome nice and loud. Let's play the C major scale. Each note we're going to play for 2 beats, so as a half note. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. And then we always do the scales backwards, so let's try from C, the high C, all the way at the end, backwards to low C. 1, 2, 1, 2, backwards, go. Great. The F major scale, so let's review that one. Same notes, just adding B flat in there. So we're going to play F, G, A, B flat. Awesome. Same thing, half notes on each note. This is just a review and a warm-up. 1, 2, 1, 2, F major, play. Good. We've been working on those for all of the weeks that we've been online, so hopefully you guys have these memorized. Um, if you don't do your practice log, yeah, that's okay. I mean, we're not able to check the practice logs. Basically, your video submissions are going to enlighten us as to how much you practice. So, if you have questions about practicing or anything like that, just let me know. But you don't have to continue to fill out any practice logs. Great. So, like I said, hopefully you guys have these two scales memorized. It's really important for our music to be able to have those scales memorized. And it doesn't take long. It maybe takes about 4 to 5 days to really memorize a scale if you play it 10 minutes a day. So think about that, like 40 minutes to memorize a scale. That's about it. So if you break up 10 minutes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you'll have the scale memorized in a couple days. It actually happens much faster than that, but to commit it to memory properly, it's about 4 days, 10 minutes a day. You'll have that scale down pat. Okay? Perfect. So let's go right ahead into Canon. I pulled it up here. I wanted to show you guys really quickly. Oh, that's right. My face is going to disappear here for a second. But I have this color-coded version of Canon in D. This is for violins, so it's not the same music, but it's the same progression of notes. So I'm going to disappear for a second, but we've got Canon here, and I color-coded it so that we can talk about the way Canon is supposed to work. So check it out. I wrote instructions at the top here about performing the round. Basically, player number 1, I wrote is yellow. So if you look at the number 1 in Canon, it's highlighted in yellow. And you'll find a corresponding note highlighted in yellow. Their last note of the piece is that very last note after the repeat sign. Where did that go? Here we go. Oh yeah, I can't edit it. So you guys see that very last yellow note after the repeat sign. If you're playing this canon and you start right at the beginning, then you go down to the 4th line and then have a repeat sign. You repeat back to the beginning, you have to play the whole thing again, and then you go through the repeat sign to that yellow note. So that's where person 1, the very first player, ends. If you're playing a 2-part round, the second player is waiting for the first player to get to line 2. So the second player is number 2, the green note. So you're going to be 1 line behind the yellow person. Sorry, the first player whose color is yellow. So then find the green note, which is line 4. See that D in line 4? This is the violin part again, but that note is going to be the very last note of your piece because the first player has made it through the repeat sign. And so on and so forth. If we're playing a 3rd-part round, so the 3rd person is going to be lavender, that pinkish purple color. And they're lucky because they just end on line 3. So if they're the 3rd person, they're actually ending on line 3. It just works out. And then the 4th player is marked as blue, and then the blue note is in the 2nd line. We talked about this last time. Nobody ends on line 1 in a 4-part round. That's because we all start at the beginning, and then when the 4th person is playing at the beginning, the 1st person's on line 4, and effectively it goes to line 5 and line 2. That makes sense? I know there is no line 5, but I'm calling the last note line 5 just to make it easy. So that's basically it, you guys, for Canon. I'll hide that away so we can get to playing it. I'm going to try to stagger this one. So I would like you to wait for the recording to get to line 2 before you let me come in on line 1. So then I'm going to get to line 2, the recording is going to get to line 3, and then I'd like you to start playing at line 1. So you're going to be the 3rd part. And if you remember the color-coded thing I just showed you, the 3rd player plays the entire piece once, and then plays it again and stops at the first note of line 3. they're the special player that ends on the same line as their number. Cool. So let's go ahead and start this recording. Let me turn up the volume so you can hear it. All right, guys. So we're going to wait for the player to get to line 3. The first player gets to line 3. 2, ready, beginning. So I'll start on line 1, but you guys wait for me to get to line 2. 1, 2, my turn. Your turn. Ready, set, go. How did you guys do with that? Let me know in the comments, because it's a little tricky to play canon when we're doing it virtually. So I'd like to sort that out if you guys are having trouble with it. But basically, just go ahead and figure out which part you prefer to play. Do you prefer to play the canon first, which means you're going to be playing 8 lines of music? Second, so you're going to be playing 7 lines of music. Third, you're going to be playing 6 lines of music, and fourth, you're only going to be playing 5 lines of music. So which one do you prefer? We need a good mix of every single part. So if you want to record twice, that's great. You can record yourself doing it second time and third time, whatever you choose. And the more we have, the more easier it is to combine. So yeah, so for Chloe, yeah, I encourage you to go back and watch some of the older videos. You guys were invited to these classes a while ago. So if you want to watch some of the older videos, the older live lessons, you can get some practice on canon and then keep working on it. But this one is only in the key of C, so we're only working with 8 notes, okay? Not terribly difficult. We've done actually harder stuff at, Harry Potter is much harder than this. So I'm confident you guys can do that. All right, then we have America. So here we go. This is another one where I encourage you guys to decide whether you want to play the melody or the harmony part. So we'd like to have an even split where there's enough on the melody and enough on the harmony. So don't all choose the melody, don't all choose the harmony. Or choose both and send us a recording. We can split it up either way. But I want you to choose your favorite. So if you prefer playing one over the other, so basically the melody kind of goes higher. It goes up to high C and D over the break. If you like playing the high notes, you might choose the melody. If you like playing the low notes, you might choose the harmony, because that one doesn't go very high and it starts on the lower notes. This play-along track only plays through the song once, and it kind of goes by in a flash. There is a click track in the beginning, so definitely practice this one a bunch with the video. When you're ready to record for our for our virtual concert, pick either melody, harmony, or both, and do a recording with that. So double check also, you guys, this is the key of F for America. I'm going to pick a random part, and you guys pick your favorite part, and I'll play the duet backing track, and then we'll see how it goes. So I'm not going to tell you which one I'm going to pick, and you get to pick your own. Pick your own part, harmony or melody, and be super careful. This one is in 3 beats per measure. Here we go. 1, oh, 2, 3, ready, set, go. Okay, that might have been a little loud, sorry about that. Now we'll try it again and do the opposite part. So it is a good idea to prepare both parts, even if you're not going to record both parts. Whenever you play duets, even if you are thinking about doing music professionally later on, like in high school or even beyond, whenever you do a duet, they encourage you to learn all of the parts, duets, trios, whatever kind of chamber music. Really learn and study all of the parts so that when you're in a situation where you're playing the duet, the trio, the quartet, whatever it is, you know what all the other parts are supposed to sound like. And that way, if somebody's playing, let's say, a dotted half note and you're playing quarter notes and another person's playing eighth notes, you know how that's all supposed to sound. You know that this one's holding 3 beats and you're playing 3 separate quarter notes against somebody else's 6 eighth notes. Okay? So for us, knowing both parts when you get down to line 3, remember I've talked about this every week. Line 3 is one of those tricky lines. In the melody part, you have a quarter note followed by 2 pairs of eighth notes. In the harmony part, you have 2 quarter notes followed by 1 pair of eighth notes. The way that they chose to do a harmony is by staying on the same note while the other part changes notes around it. And so it makes kind of like an enclosed harmony, as opposed to just paralleling, a couple notes apart and doing a parallel sort of motion. This one is staying the same while the other part kind of closes around it. So it's a really interesting sound, but knowing that helps you prepare it, and whenever you hear it, it's not so jarring. Okay, let's go back and do the opposite. So if you played the harmony, switch over to the melody, and vice versa. Here we go. 1, 2, oops, sorry. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, 2, 3, ready, set, play. Awesome. So Chloe's asking about what she's supposed to play. Mainly, you guys, over the weekend there was an email sent out about what everyone's supposed to prepare. Basically, yeah, there's a link. There's a comment in the description from the Orchestra Place about that. It's called a practice catalog. There is an entire list of songs. Basically, all the songs we're covering today are on that list. And actually, we have to get over to the next 2 pretty fast here, so I'll pull that up. We have Superhero Blues and Playground Waltz. There's an instructional video in that practice catalog, excuse me, that'll teach you how to play this part, but you guys should know this song. It's pretty straightforward. There's not too many notes, and it's mainly for the beginner kids, but we have our own part, and it's pretty important. So there is an instructional video to go over the music and play along with it. Let's take a look closely. We're playing, in this one, B natural. So check that out. It's over the break. We have to play B naturals and C naturals. If you can't play over the break yet, go ahead and just play them down low, B natural and C. All right. Moving right along, all the way down here at the bottom, we go over to D over the break and F natural. So again, if you're still working on those over the break notes, you can also do low D and low F natural. Okay, let's go ahead and do a play along with Playground Waltz. Superhero Blues. This one starts with 4 clicks, and they're kind of faint on the recording, so I'm going to try and count it off with you here. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Letter B, 1 note, rest. 2 notes, here we go, ready, go. Rest, 3 notes, C. Back to B, 4 notes. 5 on C, ready, go. And a long note. Rest, rest, D. F now, ready, go. E natural. Back to D, ready, go. A D again. And a rest, rest, rest. Nice job, you guys. All right, quickly over to Playground Waltz. This is the same as the trumpet part. Right off the bat, by the way, there's an instructional video for this one too, so give that a watch. It'll go into in-depth. We're just kind of playing through it right now. But things to look out for is this 3/4 time signature. We're counting 3 beats per measure. This long multi-measure rest, 4 measures. So you're counting 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, before we go to 5. The other thing, you guys, play second time only at 5. So this is kind of a violin feature, and the violins play right at 5. They start right away. We have the backup. So we're playing G sharp, A natural, G sharp, A natural, the whole time until we get to the second ending where you have an E natural. But we're playing the second time only. So you got to get through that repeated portion, first ending, repeat back to 5, then we play and take the second ending. Followed by 8 measures of rest, and then A sharps, which A sharp, you guys, is the same as B flat. So you're just going to start with A and add that register key. Okay, so we're playing A sharps for 4 measures, and then A naturals for 4 measures as well. Then you see the DSL fine, which means go back to the sign and play until the fine. So since we're going back to 5, we have to rest the first time, and then we play again. So it's kind of a roadmap to navigate this piece, but after we play through it once and you guys watch that instructional video, I'm sure you'll have no problem with it. Let's go ahead and do one playthrough here, Playground Waltz. This one starts right away. There's no count off. So I'll try and count you guys off. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, I missed it. 1, 2, 3, ready, set, beginning. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Now we rest. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, repeat, and play. Very good, you guys. All right, so if you have questions, feel free to send us an email. Look out for that practice catalog that was emailed over the weekend with instructions on how to record and what to record. And always, you can watch this video and other videos over and over again for practice. I encourage you guys to do that, especially if you maybe missed one, you can always go back and watch that specific one. They're categorized by date too, which is really helpful. But if you have questions, always feel free to reach out. Otherwise, check out our videos tomorrow. If you're in Playa Vista Red Book class, please come to our Red Book class tomorrow, Friday, at 4 or 4:30. Double check that time. And then we have a special Holst Jupiter class that you guys can learn how to play that one. That's the optional piece, the optional challenge music. Okay? All right, you guys, have a good one. See you guys next time.